So after creating our name, then we say p tag and a tag and href. Okay, let me post. So this is the link to the previous video, the video to the previous class that I posted on YouTube. So so click here to visit the previous class. So this is our now have target. Target is going to be this work iframe instead of blank parent self on top that we looked at when we're looking at our HTML link. So we're going to target our work iframe, and then when we go back to our page and reload, so I want this page to finish loading, so you can see click here to visit the previous class. So when we do that, when we click there, you see, wow, wonderful HTML multimedia, and this is the link to the previous class, so you can watch it. Hello everyone, isn't that wonderful? Yeah, so that's how we can use the iframe. Well, it's looking a bit warped, so let me change the height. So I'm going to change the height. So let me change the height to, let me say 315, and so when I go back to our web page and reload, so click here to see the previous class, and there you can see it looks better. So that's how we can use an external that's how we can link another source to the iframe. So we've got that, so you can use it as a target frame for a link. So we linked this target to the name, so that's how we can do for an iframe, and it's very wonderful and does not interfere, as I said, does not interfere with the page, with the main page, does not interfere with the main page. So you can have different things on, you can have different information, you can have your normal information on the page, it doesn't interfere with it. I believe you must have seen something like this when you are probably reading on something and there's a video link to YouTube and something like that, like what I just showed you, the example I just showed. You see that, and you just be able to watch the video of that contains more information about what you are reading inside that same page without it taking you to YouTube or interfering with the information in the page, and you can actually scroll down when you are done reading, when you are done watching the video, and continue reading. So that's something that you can use it to do. So let's go further. We have the src doc tag. It uses specify inline HTML to show the iframe. It's an alternative to the src attribute, and it can vary the content in the src attribute if the browser supports it. So it just specifying inline HTML to show in the iframe. So it's an alternative. So the sandbox attribute, it allows users to limit the options allowed in iframes. It enables an extra set of restrictions for content in the iframe. The value of the attribute can either be empty to apply all restrictions, or space separated tokens to lift particular restrictions. So once you put the sandbox attribute here like this, it's going to limit some operations, which I'm going to show you. The operations include to treat the content as being from a unique origin to block form submission. So if you have forms in the iframe, it will block the submission, block script execution, disable APIs, prevent links from targeting other browsing contexts. Let me show you for an example of blocking form submission. So we go to our editor and let me pick a link from one of our previous classes dealing with forms. So we treated forms in lesson 9, so I'm just going to create another iframe downwards. Iframe, and then source is going to be lesson 9. It's in my frame border. Let me leave that 0 with the 500 px and the height 500 px to make it longer, since or let me go use let's say 600, since it's, I think the what we did that it was long. So I go to our web page and we reload it. So you can see it here. Okay, let me put frame border. So let me reload, and yeah, so it's separate. So okay, the submit is disabled. Let me rectify that. So okay, let's go back and let me load it and can see submit here. Okay, I didn't add the sandbox, so I'm going to do that now. So sandbox. I'm gonna go to my page now. And so reload and let me just okay, and age 20, date of birth 25, password. So yep, and then so let me just fill in all this. Okay, favorite color, phone number, and okay, so you can see it's not working. But when I sandbox allow forms, so when I go to sandbox and allow forms, which I did now. So when I go back to my page, so and I have to reload this and then reload this information again. From me at gmail.com, password, age 20, this, 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 and this. Okay, phone number is this, and I submit. You can see it allows me to submit. So that's what the sandbox does. Is that's one of the things sandbox does. It prevents you from submission of forms unless you put the allow forms. So let's go back to our slides and let's see some of the things the sandbox doesn't allow us to do the rest. So disable APIs, prevents links from targeting other browsing contexts, prevents content from using plugin, prevents content to navigate its top level. So these are what the sandbox attributes can do, and I just showed how to block form submission. So let's go further and so you can select which sections you want lifted by adding options to the sandbox. So allow forms allows iFrame to submit forms, which was how I bypassed the sandbox attributes. So form submission is blocked if not used. So yeah, it was blocked until I used the allow forms to help us to submit forms. So allow modals allows iFrame to open modal windows, allow orientation lock. So these are just some of them. There are many of them. So allow iFrame to start a presentation session. So these are a lot. So the referral policy attribute, it indicates and specifies which referral to send an iFrame when fetching the iFrame's resource. The referral and HTTP header is an HTTP header that lets the page know who is loading it. The allowed values include no referral. The referral header will not be sent. No information will be sent along with the request. No referral when downgraded. This is default. The referral header will not be sent to origins without HTTPS. The origin, the sent referral will be limited to the origin of the referring page, which is protocol, domain, and port. Same origin. A referral will only be sent when loading from the same origin, while cross origin request will contain no referral information. So about that. So referral policy, yeah, it's just a policy that controls how much information is shared to the HTTP referral header. So the header, that header part that I showed you. So it helps to protect user privacy. So these are just so these are allowed values for the referral policy. So unless I forget